So if you think today's chatbots are the endgame for AI, well, you might want to buckle up. We're on the verge of a massive shift, moving away from single AIs that try to do it all to something way more powerful, a coordinated team of AI agents. Let's get into it.
Right now, the AI we all use is kind of like a lone genius. Super smart, for sure, but it's trying to be a researcher, a writer, an editor, all at the same time. The future, though, looks a whole lot more like a digital creative agency. Think about it, a whole team of specialized experts, each one a pro at their specific job, all collaborating on the same project. And this isn't some far-off dream. This is the model for 2026. So that obviously begs the question, right? What exactly is this team-based approach, this multi-agent system? And maybe more importantly, why is everyone saying it's about to completely rewrite the rules of productivity? Let's break it all down.
Okay, so before we dive into why an AI team is the future, we've got to talk about why the lone genius model is kind of hitting its limits. Because even the most powerful, smartest single AI has its breaking points. I mean, think about it. If you throw a really complex multi-step project at a single AI, like, say, plan my entire Q4 marketing campaign, it's probably going to stumble. These big models can struggle with projects that have a lot of moving parts, and we all know they can hallucinate or just make stuff up if there's no one checking their work. They're amazing for single tasks, but they can't automate an entire workflow. And that's the problem we need to solve.
And that's where the solution comes in. It's about a fundamental shift in thinking. Stop seeing AI as a single tool and start seeing it as a team. So, welcome to the world of multi-agent systems. So, here's the official term. It's called a multi-agent system, or MAS for short. And all it really is a network of specialized AI programs, we call them agents, that work together to tackle those huge, complex tasks that are just too much for one AI to handle on its own. It's classic divide and conquer.
And what's so cool about this is how intuitive it is. The roles are just like a human team you'd work with. You've got a supervisor agent, that's your project manager. You've got worker agents, who are the specialists, your researcher, your writer, your coder. Then there's a verification agent, basically your quality assurance lead. And where do you fit in? Well, you're the boss, the client, the CEO. You're the one making the big calls.
All right, so we have our digital dream team. We know who's on the roster. But how does the team actually, work together? How does a simple request turn into a fully finished project?
Well, it turns out they follow a pretty clear playbook, almost like a huddle in a football game. Step 1 is perception. The team gets the project brief from you. Then comes planning, where the supervisor agent maps out a to-do list. Next up, delegation. The supervisor assigns those tasks to the right specialists. Now this is key. Throughout the whole thing, there's constant communication, with all the agents updating a shared notebook so everyone is on the same page. Then action. The agents get to work. And finally, review, where that verification agent double-checks everything before it even gets back to you.
When you boil it all down, it's really just this elegant cycle of coordination and execution. And the amazing part? It's managed almost entirely by the AI team itself.
Okay, this tech is awesome, no doubt. But let's get to the real question. What does all of this mean for you, for your job? Because this is where things start to get really personal. Your role is about to change. Because when a business starts using these systems, it sets off this huge ripple effect. First, complex workflows get broken down into smaller digital pieces. Then, the AI agents take over, managing all those pieces. The immediate payoff is this incredible jump in efficiency. Suddenly, tasks that took days are done in minutes. But the biggest shift happens to you. Your job evolves from being the doer to being the manager. And over time, the whole company becomes agent native, which means it can react and adapt at machine speed.
So, let's paint a picture of what your actual day-to-day might look like. Imagine this. You're in Slack or Microsoft Teams, and instead of just pinging your human colleagues, you can literally tag in digital teammates, like @ResearchBot, and just give them a task. Projects are getting worked on around the clock, 24/7, so that thing you assigned Friday afternoon, it's sitting in your inbox Monday morning. All that annoying shadow work, scheduling, data entry, all that stuff, it's just handled. And from a business perspective, you can use cheaper, less powerful agents for the simple stuff, which saves a ton of money.
And this really brings us to the core idea, captured perfectly in this quote. Your value is no longer in grinding out the tasks yourself. Your value is in defining the goal, setting the strategy, and managing the digital workforce that brings it all to life. You become an orchestrator.
But, of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Managing a super powerful digital workforce, well, that comes with its own unique set of challenges. And it's really important we go into this with our eyes wide open about the risks.
Yeah, just like with a human team, you have to be ready for things to go wrong. And with AI, some of those problems are, let's just say, not what you'd expect. For instance, what happens when a system that seems almost perfect suddenly isn't? Let's look at the numbers for a second.
Okay, so check this out. Let's say a single specialized AI agent has a 95% success rate at its one job. I mean, that's pretty amazing, right? A+ student. You take those odds any day of the week.
But here's the twist. What happens when your project isn't just one task, but a chain of 5 of those agents, each handing off work to the next? Suddenly, the overall success rate plummets to around 77%. It's a phenomenon called compound reliability decay. Every single handoff is another chance for something to go wrong, and it's a huge challenge for any AI manager to solve.
And that's not the only thing to keep an eye on. There are a few other rules of engagement you'll need to know as an AI manager. There's something called the coordination tax, which is when agents get stuck talking to each other in an infinite error loop. From a security standpoint, every new agent is another potential weak point for an attack. And this is a big one. You have to watch out for runaway agents that, if you're not careful, can rack up absolutely massive cloud computing bills.
So look, the technology isn't science fiction anymore. It's here. Your digital team is basically waiting in the wings, ready to be deployed. This new era of productivity is barreling towards us. The real question isn't if or when. The real question is, are you ready to lead it?